Yeah, good morning, my fellow brothers in Africa. Yeah, I just want to discuss the happenings in Niger. I learned ECOWAS leaders have gathered. They say they want to use military intervention. No, I'm telling them that no. Why do I say no? I said no because we can use diplomatic means to solve the problem. They should get the Jatua or the coup leaders to sit down, discuss with them, put a formula that will let them transfer power to the democratic leaders. But if you are going to use force, now the president that you want him to be reinstated is already under the military. It's only under the group leaders. So they can easily kill him. The very person that ECOWAS want them to reinstate him, he's already in the hands of the coup leaders. So how do you reinstate him? In order to save lives in Africa, in order to prevent conflict. Because let me tell you, the fact is that the West, led by America, which are only 350 million. I know CIA, because this video go to YouTube, CIA may watch this video. I'm a child of Africa and I'm proud child of an African. And I can withstand any American CIA. They're also human being like us I am. And we are more populated than them. And let me tell CIA, let me tell America, they should understand the world is not a multipolar world. Africans that are even in USA can defend Africans that are in Africa. So they shouldn't try. They shouldn't try us. They should live in peace. The neo-colonialism, the slavery that have taken our grandfathers through, it is turning around. We will never allow those things. Look, let me tell you why America is hypocrite. Let me tell you why America is double standard. Americans who are listening to me, Africans who are listening to me, remember, Ukraine conflict in 2014, and we are realists, right? You can see Professor John Miesema. He write the Ukraine conflict is as the fault of the West. This is a professor in USA. He's a USA citizen. He wrote. So I'm not the one saying CIA knows about his write-up. CIA know about his view, right? So let me tell you, American actually helped the Orange Revolution in Ukraine that drove an elected sitting president from Ukraine. They drove him and he ran away. Yurukovich, American know. All those who knows about the Ukraine-Russia conflict will tell you. They drove him away. They did demonstration. They drove him. They called it Orange Revolution. He ran to Russia. Did the West, did the USA come to intervene? Did the USA say they should reinstate elected government? They should stop the hypocrisy. They should stop the double standard. No. Allow Africa to be in peace. I know France is pushing for military intervention. We are already in a time bomb in Africa, and we don't want any conflict again, right? I don't want double standard. And if you're an African child, don't let anybody convince you. Don't let anybody convince that it is Russia that is causing destabilization. It is Wagner Group. No. Let me tell you, I was born in Africa. I was bred in Africa. And all that long, it is only the West Europeans that have been in Africa. Boko Haram has been killing people. Have you seen Russia in Nigeria? No. It is the West. Either USA aid, either USA NGOs, they are in Nigeria. And they are killing Nigerians. Boko Haram are killing people. Now, if Nigeria wants another country to come and intervene, you say they are calling destabilization. Do you think we are fools? We are never fools. African child. If you're an African child, don't let them come and convince you. I'm appealing to ECOWAS. We don't want any of our soldiers to kill anyone. We don't want any war in Niger. We don't want any military intervention. What I am asking is, let's seek diplomatic solution to this issue. Let's seek diplomatic issue. And to the old peoples in ECOWAS, you leaders, you are there. You see how African youth are suffering. Some pass through Libya, pass through the sea, they die in the sea. Have you ever sit around to discuss about how you will be able to solve this issue? How the common African child will be able to get job to do? You have never sit down to think about it. All what you know is to corrupt the African resources, enrich you and your families, and you go around to see that you're going to do military intervention. What Africa need now is you should sit down on the round table, think about how you can help to implement good policies, to prevent African youth from crossing the Mediterranean Sea that they end up in dying in the sea. That sometimes when they reach Europe, the very Europeans who are concerned about this coup and state, the very people will put African youth into prison, sometimes deport them back to Africa, and they will come and steal our resources. Niger, uranium, that is in Niger. About 25, France, it feeds 25% of France uranium. And France use it to export electricity in Europe, and they're making a lot of money. What are Nigerian people getting? What are they getting? You see, every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So I'm appealing to ECOWAS youth. I am an African, proud African child. Sometimes people see my video and say, oh, CIA. Who is CIA? I don't care. I don't care about any CIA. Africa is a place that I'm going to live. I don't need any US visa. You can watch my video, you can refer back to me. Because if I speak the truth and you say you don't give me US visa, I don't care. I don't care about US visa. Africa is a land of peace. We don't have winter. We have the weather. We have everything. We can plant everything. If we get good leaders who have wisdom, like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, right? Like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, right? Like Robert Mugabe, right? Like Nelson Mandela, right? Like Malema, economic freedom fighters. If you have these kind of leaders, like the Burkina Faso, Traoré, that have just overthrew the elected government, there will be peace in Africa. And let's remember, African is for Africans. We don't want any West intervention. They should stay where they are. They should stay in Europe. They have already tell us that they are in the garden and we are in the jungle. Right? The European Commission Foreign Policy, bros, told us like that. And the video is there. Everyone can click it. So I'm appealing to West African leaders, ECOWAS leaders. They should sit around the table, think about how to reduce corruption. They should sit around the table, think about how to get African resources staying in Africa. They should sit around the table, make sure that Africans get ECOWAS currency that we can use to spend and put in our pocket, not to trade with dollars. This is common science. They should sit around the table, make sure that every African is able to cross the borders, so that you don't have to go pay a lot of money by crossing your own work African blood. This is the intermediate solution that will help Africa. After the military intervention, they should leave it somewhere. It is the Nigerian people who have supported the coup leaders, and you can see the public support on them. So ECOWAS leaders, what are you going to do to prevent future corruption? What you are supposed to do is you should prevent the chop that you have been chopping. You prevent the taxpayers' money that you are using without taking care of the youth. You should prevent driving in big cars. You should prevent by using expensive resources for your benefit and your family benefit. Taking them to abroad to study, prevent that one. And I'm telling the USA and the France who are pressurizing ECOWAS to put in military intervention, I'm telling them they should stop it. And they should stop it. We should use diplomatic means to solve. And no one should blame Russia. Russia were somewhere. All along, France was in Niger. If they were to be able to solve the Boko Haram, the militants, the terrorists, well, these military leaders would have been hearing this, that there's a terrorist, they have been killing people, terrorists is taking place, there's insurgents in Africa. No, they have been there for so many years. So they should not come now and blame Russians. And African leaders, wake up, read, do research, watch videos, and understand the double standard of the West. Thank you. My name is Abungo Mashood Jacob. That is my name. A proud African who is not afraid of anything. Let me tell you that any man on this earth will one day die. So don't be afraid of death. Anyone on this world will one day die. So don't be afraid of this world. Don't be afraid of anybody except God. Thank you.